Hi guys, and welcome to another Logic Pro tips and tricks. And in today's video, you will learn how to use third-party plugins with Logic Pro Step Sequencer. I'm working with battery, and the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create a pattern region by control-clicking on the track and select Create Pattern Region. So now the sequencer will open down here, and as you can see, the notes are not corresponding to the trigger notes in battery. So what we're going to do is we're going to delete all this. Logic will let you delete all of them except for one, but you can delete that one later. Just remember that it's C2 that we have to delete. Next, we're going to click on the arrow next to the plus sign, and we're going to select Learn Add. And now we're going to play the trigger notes on our keyboard or MIDI controller, and they're going to be added to the sequencer. Okay, and then we had that C2 that we needed to delete. Let's see. Or actually, it's part of one of the paths, so we can just leave it like that. So let's bring this up so we can see all the sequencer. So now we're going to click on the Learn button again to come out of that mode. And next, name each row. Now that you have named all the rows, you can grab the row and you can move them just to have the same order as up here. So now that you have them in order, you can color code them to correspond the paths on your kit. And we can access the color palette by pressing Option C. Once you color code them, you can also add icons, and that's helpful as a visual aid to identify your tracks or your rows easier. You're going to control click on the circle node to access the icons. Now that you have done all this work, we are going to save this as a template so you don't have to repeat all this process again. And I usually do this for all the kits that I use the most in battery. So when I'm working with a sequencer, I can just recall the template. So we're going to go to the top of the sequencer next to the eye where it says Show Hide Pattern Browser. And we're going to click on that. This other menu pops up, and we're going to click on the arrow next to the three dots. And we're going to select Save Template. As you can see here, Logic already named the template with the same name as the battery kit, but you can always change this name to whatever you want. Now let's head up to the tracks and delete that pattern region, and let's create a new one. And now we're going to go to our templates. We're going to select the circles kit, and as you can see, it loaded up the sequencer with all the things that I did for that particular kit. And that's the quick tip I have for you today. If you're always looking for tips and tricks in Logic Pro, please subscribe and click on that bell so you don't miss any content.